Most people don't even know that SeaWorld has a theme park in Texas, yet it's full of coasters that have potential to be some of the best among SeaWorld parks. Check out this map. Unless you live in this yellow space, which is primarily Texas and its surrounding states, you're thinking of SeaWorld San Diego, which is like the original park, or you're thinking of SeaWorld Orlando, which is like known as the best one with all the crazy roller coasters. But then there's SeaWorld San Antonio, totally forgotten, and unless you live in Texas, it's totally slept on by everyone, especially when there's a Six Flags just up the freeway. And so I'm investigating why no one talks about this incredible park by riding every single thrill attraction in this park. And on top of that, I'm gonna compare everything I experienced at SeaWorld San Antonio to other rides within SeaWorld parks and find out why this park never gets talked about.
I'm just making a video too, you should check it out, it's kind of cool.
We're here and we're like the only ones here. There's no one else. It's just me and Hunter. I'm already getting a little scared. It'll be awesome to have this entire park to myself, but why is no one here? The craziest part is that while we were waiting to get into this park, I could maybe count on two hands the amount of people that were lining up to come in. It was crazy.
This is the front entrance for SeaWorld San Antonio. There's two people right over there, and there's Hunter right there.
SeaWorld.
We started our morning at Steel Eel. By the Morgan Manufacturing, this is a very old and classic roller coaster built in 1999, towering over SeaWorld San Antonio for a long time. Longer than I've been alive. Steel Eel. This is a roller coaster that's like around 150 feet tall. The closest thing I can compare it to is Mako over at SeaWorld Orlando. Mako is a 200-foot roller coaster with just massive hills that send you flying out of your seat. And this roller coaster, well, it's designed to do the same exact thing. Mako's up there as one of my favorite coasters. It's one of the ones that helped me get over my fear of roller coasters. And every time I ride it, it's just so much fun. So that's why I'm so excited for this one. But this ride does have its fair share of differences from my beloved Mako. This coaster is only 150 feet while Mako's 200. A 50-foot difference might not seem like much. I mean, they're both really tall, but once you're going down that drop, I guarantee you it's a big difference. And these are built by two completely different manufacturers, which, even though they're designed to do the same thing, they feel and run completely different. I'm so excited, man. I'm also a little nervous. Here we go. Such a bizarre coaster. What? That was really good. Like, it sent me flying out of my seat. That was great. Comparing Steel Eel to Mako put two things up against it: the height difference and the age difference. And neither of those two things stopped Steel Eel from being amazing. Near the end, there's a bunch of hills in a row. It lifts you up out of your seat, slams you back down, and then repeats that for the rest of the ride. But looking at the rest of the park, I wasn't expecting any of these rides to get anywhere near the thrill level of Steel Eel, and I was so wrong. On to the next roller coaster, being Great White. You'll recognize this ride if you've ever been to Six Flags, but you won't recognize it as Great White. Well, this is probably more familiar to you as Bat. I mean, this exact ride has been copy and pasted between several parks over at several Six Flags. But for some reason, they have the same exact ride model here at SeaWorld San Antonio. It's just called Great White. Oh, that looks so good. I'm so excited, man. I haven't been on this ride in so long. We're going down. Oh. Having been on the same exact roller coaster before, but at a different theme park, that being Six Flags Great Adventure, yet even though I experienced before, everything caught me off guard. The only other inverted coaster in the SeaWorld chain I've ridden is Montu over at Busch Gardens. It's hard to compare Great White to something like Montu because they're two completely different rides, and just because they're the same ride model doesn't mean they're built to achieve the same thing. The Great White excels at what it's built to do. That's why it's copy-pasted all across the country. All right, now we're getting on Wavebreaker. Wavebreaker's a family coaster, but the reason this is relevant is because SeaWorld also just built a family coaster in Orlando, which I'll be so honest, I'm not too fond of. SeaWorld built Penguin Trek. It's not a bad ride, don't get me wrong, it's just not a good ride. It doesn't do anything for me. I'm hoping Wavebreaker is different. I mean, I have hope for this ride just from the way that you sit on the roller coaster. It's super unique. Dude, I'm so excited. I've never been on a straddle coaster before.
They're really fun.
This is what's called a straddle coaster, and it's where when you're sitting, you're straddling the seat. So instead of being in a big box of a seat like you were on Steel Eel, you're kind of just sitting there out in the open. It's super freeing and open air, and I'm so excited because I've never experienced anything like this. I haven't watched any videos of this ride, so I don't even know what happens. But it looks like we're gonna launch out of here. Oh, this looks fun. Here we go. Oh! awesome. That was great. You know, as someone who lives in Florida, of course, I've ridden jet skis before. Maybe it's the setting, maybe it's the seating position, but that actually felt like riding a jet ski. Except for the part where the jet ski went over the land, you know. Jet skis don't really do that.
I'll be honest, in 2024, I rode so many new family coasters that I was tired of family coasters. So aside from the seating position, Wave Breaker didn't really excite me all that much. But once I was being sent on that launch track, everything changed. I would like to see more parks build roller coasters with this seating position and this ride model. It was way bigger than I thought it would be, but still not too scary for the young thrill seekers that these family coasters are built. I think Wave Breaker is a great example of what family coasters should be, where it's not too scary, but it's also not underwhelming. Up next is a roller coaster that's intrigued me ever since I learned about it. This is the Texas Stingray. This wooden roller coaster was built from the ground up in 2020. It's not every day you see a brand new wooden roller coaster being built. I heard amazing things about this ride, but the stats never impressed me. With the drop just being 100 feet and a top speed of 55 miles per hour, I wasn't expecting this ride to do much, and I couldn't have been more wrong.
I'm really interested with this ride. I don't know what to expect at all. That is so good. That is so good. I was not expecting that at all.
I can't even really compare this to anything else in the SeaWorld chain. This is a one-of-a-kind ride and it's never talked about.
Being about halfway through every thrill ride at this park, I couldn't help but notice I had one of the coolest shirts in the park. Sorry, Hunter. I like your Epic Universe sweater, but my shirt's cool. And this is just one of 6 designs from the United States of Amusement brand. If you want to rep your favorite coasters in style, use code Zooter at checkout for 10% off.
I got 2 more rides to compare, and then stay tuned to the end where I show a secret ride here that doesn't exist anywhere else in the world. It's either gonna suck or it's gonna be a crazy sleeper hit. And there's only one way to find out. But first, we gotta go ride. Look, this is one of the biggest swings in the world. It is the biggest swing in the world. It's the exact same height as a swing that I have right in my backyard in Tampa called Serengeti Flyer. Only reason I want to ride this one instead of the other one though is because this swings right over the water. These swings are incredibly powerful. I mean, it is not like your average playground swing set. This is an air-powered swing, so it forces you forward and backwards and you go past, like upside down. It's one of the strangest feelings.
Getting off the tidal surge, it blows Serengeti Flyer at Busch Gardens Tampa out of the water. No pun intended.
It's not an exit. There we go, there's the ride exit. What are we riding next, Hunter?
It's time to get wet.
There it is. Journey to Atlantis is a classic ride. It's a water coaster. So they have this at all 3 SeaWorld parks. SeaWorld Orlando is my personal favorite. But I'm so excited to get on this ride because it's completely different from the one I have at home in Florida. Hunter, I don't want to get wet.
Too late for that.
How do I not get wet on this thing?
Honestly, it's a ball.
Oh no, it's impossible.
This model of Journey to Atlantis is really cool. It's built by a company called Mach Rides with the turntables and the backwards portion, and this layout of water coaster isn't seen anywhere else in the United States.
I guess with a splash that big, it's kind of unrealistic to think we wouldn't get wet.
Yeah, I was really hoping, you know, maybe like SeaWorld Orlando, it's like, all right, you know, like you'll get a little wet, but it won't be bad. Nah, that's pretty wet, I can't lie.
I can't be unhappy that this ride did its job, and it did its job very well.
At this point, I've experienced every coaster and their thrilling swing, but I couldn't help but notice a ride that caught my eye. There's a ride at this park that was built in 2024 that doesn't exist anywhere else in the world.
Whoa. And I can't believe we're riding this.
I'm very, very excited for this, I'm not gonna lie.
So you guys might be thinking, Brian, what is so special about this ride? This looks like a generic log ride. What's so special about it, right? This is no generic log ride. This ride, Catapult Falls, the one that's right here around me, does not exist anywhere else except for here at SeaWorld San Antonio. Why this ride is so special is because of one feature.
Like, when you say that out loud, a launched log flume. Like, imagine a ride like this coming like 40 years ago when the log flume was invented, like telling someone, oh, now we have the technology to freaking launch one over a hill.
So insane.
Straight ahead, we're about to launch on a log.
Dude, no way. Oh my gosh, here we go. Should I put my hands up? What do I do? Whoa! Whoa! Oh, that was so cool. Check this out. We're about to go up this tower on an elevator. This is no normal log ride.
Oh, it's not fine.
Oh, you got way more wet than me. Oh, way more
The
wet.
water is so cold. So you've been to all 3 SeaWorld parks. How does this rank for you amongst the 3?
It's so hard. I'm honestly having a much better time here than I've had recently at SeaWorld Orlando. They are all really good. It goes through. No SeaWorld park is really that bad when it comes to a coaster lineup. I think it comes down to park quality at the end of the day. But I've had a much better time here than I've had at other SeaWorld parks.
No, and maybe it's the conditions we're having. No one's in this park. All these boats are empty. I mean, you get to walk on all these rides with no lines. It's like the ideal first time at a theme park. Or maybe it's because I went in with my expectations so low that I wasn't expecting to have such a great time. All these rides are so good. They're fun. They're well maintained. They're thrilling. They have big ones like Steel Eel for the thrill seekers, and then they have little ones like Wave Breaker, or even this log flume isn't the most thrilling ride, but it's still great for the family. If you had a bad time at SeaWorld San Antonio, come back, give it a second try. And if you haven't been, don't sleep on this place. It's too good.